Hello. I know this is going to come as a huge shock, and for that I'm sorry. I'll be graduating from Hololive on January 3rd, 2025.
Welcome back, my delinquents! Hololive fans are in a panic mode with another talent announcing their graduation, or semi-graduation, making it their, I think, 5th graduation for the year. Now, don't get excited, I'm not turning into a Corpo gossip. I just mainly pick up stories that spark my interest, and this one has. Saying that, Fauna will graduate January 3rd, 2025, which she announced just yesterday via a stream, then by Hololive themselves, which fans took super duper well. Can't tell by the sarcasm. Insert how well they took it here. The reason I'm picking up this story is for a couple of reasons. It's an important subject for a lot of VTuber fans. Looking at how fans react to a graduation of this size is kind of interesting, but mainly I wanted to discuss the idea that old-fashioned idol corporations are becoming increasingly unappealing to VTubers, and people will be like, VTubers aren't even that old, how are they old-fashioned? Well, they're old-fashioned for us, because they are modeled after idol companies, which have been around for a very long time. And is this the case with Hololive? Is their general practices becoming unappealing to talents? Or is it just running its natural course, as some of these talents have been with Hololive a long time? But before we jump into the discussion and put our tinfoil hats on and go crazy, let's crack the case of Hololive Fauna and her graduation, starting with the beginning. Okay, we're on the case, guys. Starting off with Fauna's post that kind of starts the ball running on her graduation announcement. I have something I need to talk about today. Thank you for listening. And she does a 5-minute stream. I'll just put in little highlights and link in the description to go watch it yourself, because it is very short. I don't think you need a lot of it other than the highlights. I'll just give you some highlights and a couple of my opinions on it as we go. As a minute is opening, so that really only puts us as 4 minutes.
Hello. I wrote some stuff down so I don't forget anything. So if it sounds like I'm reading, it's because I am. I know this is going to come as a huge shock, and for that I'm sorry. I'll be graduating from Hololive on January 3rd, 2025. The reason for my graduation is disagreement with management. I've grown so much ever since joining. I love singing. I love performing for you. I never thought I would be able to perform on stage. Before I joined Hololive, I never even tried singing, and now I've been able to sing and perform for you, whether it was on stage or just here in karaoke. I love streaming. It was, and still is, my dream job. So thank you for letting me live my dream. I've said this before, but I really couldn't have asked for a better community. I hope you continue spreading kindness even after I'm gone. Hololive members are some of the kindest, funniest, and most talented people I have ever met. I feel so lucky to have been able to meet them, stand on stage together. I'm not leaving because I don't want to be here, and I'm not leaving because I don't want to be an idol. Thank you for letting me live my dream. And I'm not leaving just yet, so let's make the most of my remaining time here. I'll be streaming until the end, and I look forward to spending the rest of my time here with you. Thanks for being here.
So that brings us to the end of Fauna's announcement stream, and I'm very glad she did it in a short stream. Some people may have wanted more time, but I think it's very accessible to the fans, so you don't have to go through VODs and stuff and find it. It's there, she can pin it, she can put it around, and it's very easy accessible, because sometimes, like, a lot of fans have to go through so much crap to get to that announcement, and that leads to conspiracy theories. So 2 major points I wanted to bring up in here. One being the disagreement with management for the reason of her graduation. This has sparked a lot of speculation onto Hololive, and I would have to say isn't a very uncommon thing, I would say, with corpos, but in jobs in general, because usually an employee doesn't leave a good job, and they usually leave due to management or ownership problems. They don't quit jobs, they quit bosses. And that's usually pretty common. Or in VTuber terms, usually contracts. They quit because of unfair contracts, because some of them are rough, absolutely rough. So there is a lot of conspiracy theories going around to the reason she had a disagreement with management, but most likely because of Hololive NDAs and a lot of corporations, you're never gonna know. All you have to do is leaving is the right choice for her. And next to that, she's not going anywhere, and that she most likely will be becoming independent. But also to mention, she's not going anywhere until January. And on a completely unrelated note, not connecting to this story or this person leaving at all, there is a VTuber blowing up an indie out of nowhere. It's amazing. We don't know who this is. I can't wait to see what they do. It's crazy, right? Whoa, that's insane. I wonder who this person is. I don't know. I'm gonna watch the debut, right, guys? And back to the Hololive story. Let's get into it more. So that is the main highlights of it. She's staying till January. She's going to continue streaming to normal, finish her projects that she has, and she enjoyed her time with her community. And the main reason for leaving is just a disagreement with management. And then we go to Hololive's announcement regarding Sarah's Fauna's graduation. Again, sorry if I say her name wrong, guys, sorry. We regret to announce that Sarah's Fauna of Hololive English will be graduating on January 3rd, 2025. Since her debut as a member of the group council, Fauna has significantly contributed to the growth of Hololive production. We're forever grateful for her contributions. I don't think she's going to stay an affiliate like some other semi-graduations. She'll be going full indie. Don't quote me on that. That's the most likely because I'm not sure on Hololive's NDAs or connection with it. And I really don't want to get anyone in trouble on this. So we're just going to wink, wink. She might be coming as an indie. Wink, wink. Because I don't know the legal stuff around this. So we're just going to play it safe. And then Sarah makes another post after her stream going into it. Thank you so much for everyone who has supported me this past year. Thank you to the Saplings, that is her fan group, who may or may not be having a meltdown right now. The wonderful talents, Asagi Mama, and everyone who has been here with me all this time. I will always cherish the memories I've made here, and I'm looking forward to filling this next month with as many new memories as we can. I've had so much fun trying new things, learning to sing and to perform, and most of all, streaming with you. I want to spend the next month being my silly, goofy self so if I can be selfish, let's stream and have fun like always until the end. Very sweet. And that's fine to want to go out on the end of the Sarah's Fauna arc of her life with a big bang and just continue to have fun and do her time in Hololive justice and end it well. And you have a lot of people supporting her in the comments here. No one's freaking out, I swear. So that is the main saga of her graduation. Very calm, very civil. Hopefully she'll have a fantastic graduation stream to start the next part of her life. But people have been conspiracy theorying and also, freaking out. Obviously, some people have been this is because of California. I don't know why. Obviously, it has something to do with woke. And, my face just screws up and then I stop listening. As a lot of us do. But this is most likely a management problem and has to do with policies. It's probably nothing to do with things being too woke. It's probably just some unfair practices or restrictions to the kind of content they want to make. That is the most likely thing to be happening here because corporations are kind of known for having very strict rules and staying in certain guidelines. Because Japan is very different than the rest of the world. They have some progressive things. They have some traditional things. And it's just different than here. And they also have very different business practices. But we cannot fully assume the reason. And this has turned into a lot of creators like Rima here reaching out to the Sap Bros, some Parrot-chan posting some memes, telling everyone to be calm, be calm, be calm. Guys, be calm. It's always good, even if she wasn't coming back with the indie, which we cannot fully confirm. Here, she would be going on with her life in the direction she wants to do, which is always positive. Even if you're missing out on entertainment, your Oshi would be going on to something that matters to them. Don't we want our Oshis to be happy? Don't we want them to be happy and doing the kind of work they want to do? And we have another one here. Let's check how the saplings are doing. Oh, group sapling side at my house in 105 minutes, friends. They're taking it really well. But honestly, this is not the worst breakdown I've seen over graduations. So honestly, they're doing better than most people expected. We have some of her Hololive mates hyping her up to get to 1 million before she leaves. Some people breaking down because their Oshis are graduating. That's some more of the 4. But honestly, it could be a lot worse. They're doing better than expected. Overall, I would say a mostly positive time with a few mental breakdowns in between. Some people going on how graduation is just a part of the natural cycle of VTubing. And that brings us back to the topic I really wanted to talk about. Are corporations just going out of fashion? Are they the dinosaur of the industry? Let's get into it. So a real question here of people talking about, especially with Fauna, is why is she graduating? Other than the obvious of her saying it's due to management disagreement. Is it because management's becoming too Western? Is it because the style of management has changed? Or is the problem it hasn't changed at all? Is it exactly the same it was years ago when Hololive was first made? Has it not adapted from idle industry to more flexible, which the industry seems to be leaning towards, such as vshojo or just full talent management, where they don't run as a proper team, where they just manage them and fulfill the talents direction of where they want to go, instead of management setting them up a direction they have to go. And the question is, unless we actually saw a Hololive contract, it's hard to fully say here, but I would have to say stricter corporations are becoming less popular. Even though Nisanji and Hololive are still very popular to watch, I'm not saying they aren't, the applications or the people staying long term is going down. And we can really see this with smaller companies where they get less applications, shorter stays. It's getting less likely that a talent will last a year in the industry, because unless you're bringing in those huge numbers, it's not really worth fully staying. Or there's no detriment to staying, seeing most companies have a way to buy out your avatars, so you don't have to stay anymore. So the company now has to make it worth staying to the talent. What do they get out of it? And companies doing 50-50 splits, or worse in some cases, I heard Nisanji does like a terrible split, for instance, and so do some other companies, it's just not worth signing up or staying with long term. It is going the way of a real company where you need to give commitment to your talents to warrant the commitment back. And I think that is really expressing itself in the industry at the moment. Because a lot of people may have signed up expecting normal idol stuff, and then being exposed to their fans and their care and their commitment to them, realize they do deserve better. And they want to explore their options, and that's completely fine. And you may be going like, oh, how do we know corporations are going out of fashion? We can't fully, but I do see a trend here of people not wanting to be with agencies anymore. Some people not wanting to watch agencies anymore because of the stricter practices, because they don't want to say goodbye to their Oshis unless it's their choice. Unless they have run their course. There is nothing worse than getting committed to your talent, your VTuber, supporting them through and them leaving completely outside of their control, or being restricted consistently by their management because it's not within their family-friendly means, or it's not within the restriction of their corporate investors, because a lot of people have pointed out here too, that Hololive went public in the last year, and it could be due to Japanese or foreign investors why they now have more restrictive practices. Could be, it could be. They have more people they have to answer to when it comes to profits mainly. And there can be many reasons for this. But honestly, I think a lot of talents and VTubers are just realizing they're worth more than a low percentage split, and they should have more control over the direction of their career. And for a lot of them, it's not just about the money, it's also about expressing themselves, the art. And that's the thing, with so many talents being singers, dancers, songwriters, that art is a huge plus to them. And not being able to express what they want to do with that can be incredibly limiting and frustrating. So even having a restrictive company enforce themselves on that part of your career can be very detrimental to their want to stay. But honestly, I don't think we're really going to know until a talent leaves that doesn't have a strict NDA against them, which is kind of hard to find. But I think for the trend of what we can see going wrong with smaller companies, we can kind of see what people dislike when it comes to corporate control. And generally, it's either bad management, bad distribution of merch or assets, bad splits, or too much control by the corporations. And see, we know Hololive does an okay split, they seem to get out merch on time, they don't have tons of scandals. It seems that most likely it's either a management issue, as in the management is bad, or it's a control issue. Seems to be the most likely answer here. But what do you guys think, my delinquents? Why do you think people are leaving corporations now more than ever? Why do you think people are less likely to apply? And what do you think of dear old Fauna leaving Hololive? And leave your well wishes to her on her page or on her video that I will link below. And I hope you have a Merry Christmas, guys. Bye bye, my delinquents. And don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the Patreon for earlier videos, including the early access to the documentary coming out in February, and all that fun stuff. See you next time.